Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So this live video is going to be dedicated to this conversation of why it is that if you do have a sacral response, if you are a generator or a manifesting generator, why it is likely difficult for you to hear that when it comes to making decisions. It's the very same reason why I've received a number of 1/8 channel clients in the past week who are struggling with self-expression. So I am also on my computer so that I can see comments better, just FYI. Sometimes when I'm doing lives, I notice that a lot of people have comments during the live, but I actually don't see them. So my intention with having my computer up is that I actually do see them in real time and can answer the questions, because on the phone it's a little bit challenging. So that being said, hello, welcome to this live. You will notice there is this like stars thing too now on my lives. Facebook has decided that it was going to allow me to earn stars on my videos. So if you do send stars, thank you for that. It's a completely new concept to me, but I am excited to be able to activate that, I guess. So in this past week, I have had 3 very different clients come to session for different things. One of them is a private client that I'm working with over a series of 6 weeks. Another one is a client that did a foundational reading and then a business alignment audit with me. Another client is someone who I'm currently working with for creative project, and they all share this channel, the 1/8. And what's really, really interesting about all of those humans is that one of their greatest issues they are currently having in their business, because they're all entrepreneurs, is authentically expressing themselves. For some of them, it's, they had a business in one area and now they're pivoting and they're experiencing anxiety around pivoting their message. For another one, it's that they happen to be deaf and hearing themselves on video is very difficult for them. And so they feel like they're out of the marketing game because they can't be on video. They don't feel comfortable being on video. Because they can hear that they're deaf and that really triggers them. And then for another one, it's just feeling completely stuck, like frozen in the map of their life. And all of them, with the exception of one, so 2 of them are generators, 1 of them is a projector, all of them have this 1/8 channel. The 2 that are feeling like stuck and also terrified of self-expressing have a background of child abuse, sexual abuse. I don't want my video to get flagged, so I have to speak in code. And the other one also has a form of trauma from childhood, but it's because she wasn't born deaf. She became deaf after she experienced something in her life as a young child. All of them experienced a form of trauma. It is all showing up now in their inability to show up for their business in a way that feels coherent, solid, safe. Okay? If you have the 1/8 channel, you are the most creative. Like, that channel is the channel of inspiration. It literally came here to self-express. The whole purpose of people with that channel is to authentically express who they are, and in so doing, inspire other people to find their voice and authentically express who they are. This connects the identity center to the throat. Okay? When there is trauma of this nature, where your ability to express who you are becomes a problem because either you were minimized as a child, or you were shut down as a child, or you equated being seen or expressing yourself with lack of safety. All those things can happen within that channel. We have a problem. We have an entrepreneur who now feels stuck and can't find their way in their business. Okay. And then you add on to that if you're a generator and your authority is supposed to be your sacral. You're supposed to be trusting your sacral response to guide you through your process, through your life. And now you can't hear it. I can't tell you how many of my clients come into a first session and are like, I don't know what a sacral response is. I've had other teachers talk to me about the sacral response, and they try, but I don't hear it. As soon as a generator says to me, I do not hear my sacral, what I know is that there is some form of SE actual abuse somewhere. The chances of that are extremely high, because that's the center we're talking about. And when there is that kind of abuse, that center gets shut down. It changes the sound of that center. It changes the energy frequency of that center. And then all of a sudden, for most people, they just stop hearing it because it becomes a source point of pain. And so they disassociate from that center, from their authority altogether. There is a disassociation that happens. So if this is you, or if you know a generator, and they're like, I know that I'm supposed to be trusting my sacral, I know I'm supposed to be listening to my sacral, but I don't know what that sounds like, and you have a history of this kind of abuse in your life, then your deconditioning process in order to access your authority is going to be a little bit different than maybe someone else's deconditioning process. Your deconditioning process is going to have to be more somatic. It's going to have to be accessing the body wisdom and integrating that stuck point that occurred at that stage in your life. This is what, for me, I love using EFT for this in particular, because it's so brilliant at helping you disengage the response without having you relive something that's really painful. You don't have to talk about it at all. And we can help you integrate that without you having to bring up any specifics in the least. Sometimes people want to bring up specifics and that's helpful for them, but a lot of times it's not. They don't. And so the reason they haven't done the work around these kinds of issues is because they don't want to talk about it. In a lot of traditional therapy, that's all they want to do is talk about it. So there is a direct link for me in my experience with clients of this kind of trauma, this kind of abuse, especially very early on in life, like as a very small child, and their inability to connect with their sacral and their inability to feel safe in self-expressing. And until that work gets done, what ends up happening with a lot of these adults is that their trauma response shows up in their business. It shows up in the way they market, and it shows up in the way they run their business. I'll give you an example of this. If your trauma response is flight, if you are someone that just runs from things, like flight is your natural response to traumatic experiences, what that translates into as an entrepreneur is jumping from course to course and mentor to mentor and coach to coach, hoping one of them is going to have an answer that fixes you. That's what it looks like when you have flight response as an entrepreneur. You're running from program to program. You're just throwing money at everything you possibly can, hoping that one of them has the answer so that you don't feel as broken as you do. If you have freeze response, then you're just paralyzed. You're paralyzed in your business. You can't make a decision. You feel like you don't know what to do. There's this deep paralysis that occurs in entrepreneurs, and a lot of times it's because their trauma response happens to be freeze. If your response is fight, then what I find with those entrepreneurs is that you're either finding a problem with every single mentor that you hire, or you have a lot of drama in your business. Your clients are very dramatic. You have a lot of issues with client relationships that don't ever seem to, like, they just appear out of nowhere. There's this just constant drama happening. So take an honest look at your business. Take an honest look at your relationship to your business and ask yourself if any of those resonate or apply. And again, if you are a generator and you're like, I don't know what my sacral response sounds like. I know that that's my authority. I know that that's what's correct for me to follow, but I don't know what that sounds like. then ask yourself some deep questions of like, what happened early in my life with that particular center of my body that could have easily disassociated me from wanting to connect there and be able to listen from an authentic place. Same is true for the 1/8. If you have 1/8 in your design, the channel 1/8 connects the G center, the diamond, yellow diamond in your chart, to your throat. If you have that channel and you're finding it really difficult for you to express your authentic self, to say the things you want to say and to artistically, creatively, marketing, show up, then ask yourself, what happened in the earlier part of my life where I felt like my voice wasn't significant, or I felt like the way that I wanted to express myself was not approved of, or it felt like if I did express myself, I would be not safe. Okay, and then right there you have the beginning of your deconditioning work, the true center point of your deconditioning work. And what's interesting to me is the more that I work with entrepreneurs, the more that they come to me being like, I need help with my business, like help me with my marketing or my branding or whatever, according to human design. At the base of a lot of the issues that they think are business issues is actually a personal issue. It's a history, it's a trauma, it's a freeze point in their personal development that actually created the problem that they're currently living in their business. Because if you are a small business owner, your business is an expression of who you are. Like, you can't separate yourself from that. It is born of you. You are the one making decisions for it. You are the one directing your choices for it. You are the one figuring out, what you want to do with it or not, your marketing voice, etc., all these things. So if you have this trauma point that's stuck, don't be surprised if you're getting stuck in your business also. That's very, very common. So just felt like coming on and expanding a little bit more on my post that I was inspired to share earlier, simply because I'm seeing these really strong repeating patterns. And I did a live on TikTok, a week ago, and this came up of not being able to hear the sacral. And as soon as I said this, they had a massive aha moment, and they were like, that makes perfect fucking sense. I was like, So I do something called sacral sessions with my clients, and those are really helpful to reconnect them to their sacral. But before I do that, I go into deconditioning whatever the stuck point is in their timeline that's preventing them from accessing. So yeah, let's figure out what that is for you. Let's work on that, shall we? So I hope you guys are having an amazing week. Just as a little FYI, I do have a free masterclass coming up Thursday called Success by Design. So if you are a professional or an entrepreneur, but especially if you're a small business owner, you're going to want to attend this masterclass, because I'm sending you with 3 key components of success in your design that are really going to help you understand even where the deconditioning process might need to start for you. We're going to have a little bonus question there on deconditioning, because I know that's a big one for a lot of people who are familiar with design and language of design. How to start deconditioning, how to start untangling yourself from the limitations placed on these centers in your body graph and on these gifts in your body graph. And we're going to be talking about 3 key things that I think are really pivotal for you understanding your place in your business and how to show up in your business. So I will actually share that link in the comments so that you can register. And please watch out for that first email, because there are worksheets that go along with the masterclass for you to do little exercises afterwards to help you kind of anchor in the processes that you're going to learn about. So yeah, make sure that you actually look out for that, like, you're in email, because that's where those worksheets are going to be attached. All right, my friends, happy Tuesday. I hope that this message, I trust that it's going to reach exactly who it needs to, and that it creates some sort of shift and significant transformation for you. And if you guys have any questions or comments about this, please feel free to share them in the comments. If you feel like whatever you want to share is a little bit too personal, you're always free to message me, and I will answer you there. All right. Love y'all.